That's CRW.
CRU.
No, CRU, which is short for Campus Crusade for Christ. If you've been around a while, you know that name. Connie, tell us a little about yourself. Tell us about how you got into the ministry you're in, and how God called you there, and maybe a little bit of your background as well.
Well, hello everybody. Yeah, I got started with Cru. I mean, in the very beginning, it's been 21, 22 years or so now. So back then, I got started kind of what we call mid-career. I wasn't in the middle of my career by any means, but I did work for a few years. But I knew I really felt called to do ministry. I just wanted to pay off my school loans and debt that I had, but really still felt the Lord calling me into work with Cru, because I was with Cru all throughout college and went on a summer project with Cru. And that is where I really fell in love with sharing my faith and thought, unless the Lord calls me somewhere else, I should do ministry. And that's kind of what Cru teaches. If, you need a calling almost wherever you work, if he doesn't, it's a calling to do ministry full time. It's a calling to do ministry in the workforce.
Yeah.
And so either place you need to feel called to it. And so I felt called to continue on with Cru and continue to grow spiritually with Cru and help others to grow with Cru. And I worked in the Midwest for 6 years with college students at UW-Madison for 3 years, and St. Cloud State in Minnesota for 3 years, leading the women's ministry there. And then Minnesota just got too gray for me. I really didn't do well there physically. I needed sunshine. And so I wanted to give Orlando a try. Thought I'd try really sunny, really try out the sunshine down here. And I loved it. I loved the ministry that I got started with when I came down here as a leadership development program that I got to help coordinate. I get to help lead in and be a coach right away. And so that was my job that I started when I got down here. I felt really privileged, and I just stayed with that for 15, 16 years. You've heard me talk about Lake Hart Stint.
Right. Yeah.
So
now,
that was
you were counseling missionaries that were coming off the field and getting ready to go back. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So I was doing that for 15, 16 years and loved coaching, loved leadership development, loved helping them transition back to the States or figure out a transition. What is next was a lot of what that was. Do I stay in ministry? Some were transitioning their kids back. It's just all sorts of transitions. Their kids back from overseas, their kids were going to college here, and just all different kinds of transitions that missionaries were going through, and walking them through that over the course of 10 months. Loved that. And, but yeah, most of them stayed in ministry and went back in some form. But then that changed. We got a new leadership. That program was changing a lot. And I could no longer do it with little kids. Like, it was just changing to the point that I couldn't do it part-time as a mom.
Right.
So I needed to find something different to do, which is fine. 16 years with that, I was ready. I felt the Lord was leading me to do something different as well. So I found something helping out part-time people. For 1 year, I helped out part-time missionaries. And that was good. It led me to what I'm doing now, but it wasn't a good fit. I didn't have time to coach. I didn't have time to help train, which is what I love to do. I was doing a lot of administration. Like, it had potential for me to do that, but I couldn't get the other stuff done fast enough so that I could also help coach and develop the part-time missionaries. And so I was looking for something new, and this came up. Coaching new, a lot of it's coaching new staff, people joining with us for the first time. Yeah. I coach them to raise their funds for their ministry, but then also just coaching them to get ready to be on the field. And I'll coach senior staff who've been with us longer too, but right now it's mostly new staff that I'm working with. I just started in September in this role, so it's a fundraising coach. is
Mhm.
what I'm doing now that I started back in the fall.
Well, that can be very exciting, I would imagine, plus a little nerve wracking.
I do really enjoy it. I found a good fit now. It's a lot of the leadership development. It's a lot of yeah, hearing people out and what they're going through and
Uh-huh.
understanding and helping them develop their walk with the Lord as they're raising funds. And it's a real great training ground for ministry, raising
That's
funds.
it's a great way to build your faith.
Mhm. Sure
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Well, good.
So that's how I got there. But coaching is what I missed. And so I really was looking for something where I'd have an opportunity to coach, which is what I've gotten feedback on that I'm good at. So when you've done something for 20, been with a place for 20 years, you should probably be doing something you're good at.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really what I wanted and develop to just continue to develop what I'm good at, but to grow in this and help others grow is what I really enjoy.
Are you able to develop other coaches as well?
Not yet. No, I mean, eventually that could be part of my job, but right now I'm a new coach.
Mhm.
So I'm just learning this, but yeah, that could be part of my role someday.
Okay.
And help other MPD, we call it MPD. If I ever use that term, that's just for our ministry partner development
Ah,
is what that stands for.
okay.
But yeah, maybe someday. But right now I'm really just enjoying working with the new staff that are coming on and some senior staff.
So what do you like most about that?
It's helping them get to a place. Some of them, it's really hard to get motivated to get on the telephone
Mm.
or to go out and tell people about what they're going to be doing, the vision. And it's helping them keep that vision for
Uh-huh.
what the Lord initially called them to. That's really key. And helping them keep the mission of why they're doing what they're doing, helping them see the phone as their friend. A lot of people just hate getting on the phone and
Uh-huh.
asking people to meet with them. Yeah, kind of bringing things down to basics, I guess. Like in this time of COVID and the quarantine, it's gotten really slow. It's
Well, I
gotten
bet.
slow for a lot of people. I mean, the people that I'm working with anyway, it's gotten slow. Some people, it's not, but some people it really is. And so to both help them understand that it's temporary, but also to help them know how to help other people and that they're still called to ministry. To help people understand that God's ministry, God's vision hasn't changed any because of COVID.
Right.
I have one gal that's raising funds to go to East Asia, and that's up in the air. All the missionaries from East Asia came home, and so they don't know when they're going back.
Mm.
And so she's questioning in her mind,
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to go. So it's just talking them through that. Like, it's uncertain, but God hasn't changed. God's vision that he gave you and his calling he's given you hasn't changed. So I like coaching them through and talking them through some things like that to help them keep their vision and coaching them on spiritual, just keeping their walk strong.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's some of the key things I love doing.
Well, I've talked to some people that are raising support right now when this hit.
Mm-hmm.
And for some, they're trying to discern, is God saying something here? Am I going the wrong direction? Should I be looking into another kind of ministry or another vocation? Is there something that I know you're talking about, just trusting the Lord and focusing on your vision? How do you keep them motivated? I guess you've already answered that, but it seems like right now it's a very challenging people in that position.
Mm-hmm. It is really challenging. It's a good question. I feel like your question's kind of two parts. Like, is he wrong? He or she wrong to
Right.
challenge what is this really the Lord's calling? And I was just talking with one of the gals I coached today about it, and the one who is going to East Asia, of like, the Lord is really able to change your vision. The Lord is able to speak to you if he wants you to change.
Very good.
he's really able to talk to us, and just stay close to him. He will show you. He wants you to know his vision more than you do.
Yeah.
And or your calling, or vision or calling. And so just to reassure her to stay close to the Lord and keep praying. And so that's part of it. But another thing, we had a great call last week too, and that I said, I'm not discouraged with your progress. God's not discouraged with you, and I'm sure not discouraged with you.
That's great.
And so that, she was like, and she told me later that was very encouraging, because she thought I was discouraged with her.
Mm.
And I'm like, I think you're doing all you can. And I can't, I'm not going to push you further when the season has just changed.
Yeah.
I think, we have to keep working hard, but there's only so much you can do. It's not, some of it's out of your control. You don't control what people do with their funds. And so you just do work your hardest, and the rest is up to the Lord.
Yeah. When I was in seminary, I went to Dallas Seminary for 5 years, and I got involved with Josh McDowell Ministries. Yeah. And so I went on a, MPD, is that right? Ministry MPD. Partner Discovery. Yeah. And I wish I'd had a coach. That would have been great.
Yes.
But that wasn't where God wanted me ultimately. So, I was able to do what I did and all that. But one thing that I got from that process was this idea that God already has your support team assembled. Mm-hmm. Your job is to discover who those people are.
Right.
And it makes a difference in terms of how you approach contacting people.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's what I continue to remind them too. Like, it's not unknown to the Lord.
Yeah.
Where the team is going to come from.
Yeah. That's great. Good. So you mentioned your family. You've got, I think we said beforehand, you've got a boy and a girl. How old are they?
I have a girl who's going to be in 4th grade, and a boy, Braden, who's going into kindergarten.
Oh, wow. So not an empty nest, but it's a little different when they're both in school during the day.
Yeah, it has been. Right, but they haven't been in school for several months, so
yeah, true.
Yeah, we've been trying to balance homeschool and work. And
yeah, well, that's the challenge everybody's facing.
Right. Yeah. It has become the new challenge.
Yeah. So you mentioned your husband has his own job as well. So do you guys do much together in your ministry, or is it just kind of each of you does your own thing?
Yeah, we're very, very, ministry is very separate. He works with Cru's websites.
Oh, okay.
He's in charge of all our WordPress websites.
Okay, yeah.
Some of our websites are in WordPress, some are in something else, but all the ones that are in WordPress, he's in charge of.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty important stuff right there.
Busy, kind of stressful job sometimes. Yeah.
I bet. Yeah. Well, good.
But yeah, our jobs don't overlap really at all. We know some of the same people, but really overlap.
Oh. So do you anticipate you're going to be working with new people? You are working with new people. And so you won't be doing campus ministry per se directly. You'll be helping these people perhaps do some of that.
I help prepare them for campus, right?
Okay.
My role is, it's supervisor, it's training, and it's kind of coach / counselor to help them get ready for the field. Yeah.
What are some of the questions they have about going into a campus, or do they already know a bit about it?
The ones I'm working with have already been interns. A lot of people do an internship for 1 or 2 years, and then they come on full time to get their feet wet and try it. So the ones that I'm working with right now have all been interns. So their questions aren't so much about ministry, but it's doing ministry for the long haul, or it's about this fundraising, a lot about communication, growing in communication, and doing leadership development type stuff with them. A lot of it's walk with the Lord, keeping praying, developing prayer partners,
Mm-hmm.
kind of more long-term. How do you walk with the Lord long-term for ministry?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, a lot of their questions revolve around specifics too of how do I raise my team? How do I raise up this team
Yeah.
of people? And yeah, some of them are going to be doing it for a year or two. One
Right.
gal is going to Miami. She's in California and she's going to Miami. And that's, you got to raise a lot of money to go to Miami. But she's used to that being in California, right? You raise a lot
Yeah.
of money for California too, as far as cost of living.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She's just like, how do I do this for the long term? It's taking a while.
Good. So you're moving, I don't know if we mentioned this on our live portion, you're moving back to the Quad Cities. Tell us about that.
Right. So I'm in Orlando now, which is where we've been for 16 years. Yeah, a couple years ago, this process, it's been going on for a couple years now. A couple years ago, my husband just asked, what if we were moving back here? This was one time when we were on a trip back there. And so we started to explore what it would look like, because we were starting to get concerned about what we're going to do for middle school and high school.
Mm-hmm.
Schools here feel complicated. That's kind of how I think about it. Orlando's a very transient place. People don't, a lot of people don't stay here very long, or they take school year by year.
Oh my.
Just take a year at a time is what a lot of people say. And
Wow.
We have some Christian friends who will go to, they want to do virtual. They'll do virtual school if, the middle school doesn't get any better. But we don't feel like that's for our kids, virtual school.
Uh-huh.
I mean, where everybody's doing it now and we don't have a choice.
Yeah.
But to choose it, I wouldn't choose it for my kids.
Yeah.
So that's just not us. We just didn't want that for our kids and can't afford private school right now. It's just, we didn't see a good option for us right here with school. And I went to North Scott and I like that school district. We'd love to be right within 30 minutes of all my family. They have cousins there, their age. So yeah, to be close to family for schools. We're tired of the big city. We're tired of the traffic and the bad drivers in Orlando. You have to have a strong prayer life to live here with the traffic and the drivers. We feel like there's lots of accidents on the road. But yeah, so we can both work virtually. Our jobs are very much on the computer. My job is all on the computer because my team is in different states.
Right.
My team is in Atlanta and Indiana and South Carolina.
Wow.
So I don't see them on a daily basis except on the screen anyway. And all his meetings are on the computer for the most part. So jobs can be done very virtual, which is nice. We got approval to move and we're excited about it.
That's terrific.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So I imagine you guys will be attending Cornerstone?
Yeah, that's the plan. Yep.
Good. Now that's where you grew up, isn't it?
Once I became a Christian, I started going to Cornerstone. Yeah, in college. I became a Christian after my freshman year and then started going there.
So where were you going to college?
I went to Northern Iowa.
Oh, okay.
So, right. I didn't go to Cornerstone when I was away at school. I found another church up there. But when I was home for the summers, I came to know the Lord during a summer when I was home working with Cutco Cutlery. Actually.
Oh, okay.
And one of my managers there shared Christ with me and started taking me to his church in Eldridge.
Awesome.
He just happened to live in Eldridge too. And
that's terrific.
It's a great church for me. Yeah.
That's really great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they'll be glad to have you guys.
Hope so. Yeah.
Good.
It'll be great to be back. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good. Well, I'm really glad you're going to be local. We have a chance to spend more time together as a church with you, and
I can come visit more just than summer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That sounds great. Good. Well, is there anything else that you want to share? How are you doing with support? Are you okay right now with your level of support?
Yeah, I am doing okay. I mean, the last months have been different in that I'm yeah, there's a few that haven't been quite as solid as they have been, which is understandable.
Mhm.
But I am doing, the Lord is providing. I am doing just fine.
Good.
Thank you for
Good.
your faithful partnership with me. I'm
Oh, it's our privilege. Yeah.
so grateful. Thank
Yeah. We've been happy to be a part of your support team. Yeah.
you
Very
very
much.
much.
Yeah.
Anything else? Yeah, no, we're excited to be back in the Quad Cities, and it'll feel very different in all ways.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. You'll have to get used to being able to get across town in less than 5 minutes.
exactly.
That'll be
That,
hard.
that's one of the easiest parts. That's going to be easy.
Yeah. What we call traffic will be a joke to you.
Yes.
Yeah. I
I,
moved here from Southern California, so I get that picture.
oh wow, that's lovely to move to something like this. Yeah, I used to hate the drive from over the bridge. I used to work in Moline,
Oh,
and
you'll hate that again. Yeah.
huh?
You'll hate that again because it's under construction.
Is it still
Yeah. So and it will be for quite a while.
years? Really?
But they're doing a really good job, I think, trying to make it as smooth as possible. It could be a lot worse, but I think they're doing a very good job with it.
Good.
Yeah.
How's it been going and opening up there? Have things been opening or how's
Yeah. Illinois is slower than Iowa.
oh,
Iowa is moving very rapidly and it seems safely. Illinois is a little more cautious about it. We just started meeting together again as a church, and I believe Cornerstone and DeWitt, both of them have done that as well.
I think
Uh,
they just did too last Sunday.
yeah, this last Sunday was our first,
Okay.
and we didn't have very many people show up, which we figured would be the case.
Yeah.
So we're doing live streaming and in person. We'll be doing live streaming for the foreseeable future.
Sure.
That's one thing we've learned.
Yeah.
I've learned, I've developed a phrase that the things that COVID has taught us, it's when you discover a gold mine, don't fill it up. Keep mining it the best you can. And that's one of the things is online services has been helpful, and I think it will continue to be. But yeah, we just started meeting, and we're doing all the social distancing stuff and everything. And so we're in process, and I can see us, gradually. We don't have children's ministries or student ministries as of yet on site, but everything is still, digital.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that's one thing they know digital. That's
Yeah.
nothing new, but children are student ministries.
Yeah. They're not unfamiliar with that. So that's been a good thing. And I was just talking to our youth guy today about our, moving forward, our paradigm for ministry is going to lean more heavily, I think, on digital meetings.
Everybody's
Yeah.
figuring that out really well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So good. Yeah. Well, it's been a real pleasure to have you with us, Connie.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate you asking.
Sure thing.
But
Okay.
next time I see you, we'll be in person.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, let me pray for you.
Great. Thank you.
Father, I just thank you for Connie and for her family. I thank you for how you are meeting their needs, how you are showing in her life your faithfulness, especially during this unprecedented, unpredictable time. And I do pray that you would give her favor with the people she's coaching to be an encouragement to them. I pray that you would help them to stay with the vision and calling that you've given them, and help them, Father, to learn more and more about how faithful you are. And I pray that these individuals, Father, will have fruitful ministries. I thank you for Connie's abilities and willingness to coach. I thank you for all that you've taught her. And I thank you that she's using her gifts to further the kingdom in a way of excellence. And so we ask your blessing upon her ministry, upon her family, and this moving process. We pray that it will go smoothly, that you will pave the way with grace as they come home. And we just thank you, Father, for what you're going to do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right.
I
Well,
like
thanks a lot.
coming home. Yep. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. God bless.
God bless you.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.